Hello and welcome to Good Morning Sri Lanka. It's Monday, the 30th of April. I hope you've been woken up by the flashes of lightning and the grumbling thunder. Hope you didn't have a startling start to the day, but we are here with you early, and it was a good weekend, Prami, and we have Prami with us. I'm sorry, I almost forgot you, Prami.
Oh, I'm very forgettable. Thank you very much.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. The weekend was excellent. For MTV Sports, new first coming up with The Debater on MTV Sports every Saturday at 7 p.m. Feast your eyes. It's something interesting to see the high school debaters. The topic last weekend was whether voting should be made mandatory, and two girls' schools came up with some fine points, and it's very interesting and something to keep your eyes focused on. And how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. It was at least we got a little bit of sun, and I got a little bit of my laundry done.
Yes.
This is one of the biggest problems of actually having a lot of rain these days. And today morning was, it's difficult for us to wake up when we have to wake up that early, but the lightning and thunder did help.
It's a lot of exercise actually. Suddenly it's sunny and you put the clothes out, and suddenly it's raining, you dash out and get the clothes back in.
Sri Lanka keeps it interesting for
us.
Yeah,
the weather is so unpredictable.
Yes, and another population other than the human population which is suffering from the changing weather climates is of course the stray dog population, which is something that which is an issue that a lot of people have been trying to fix, and there have been several solutions to it, and the difficulty is finding a humane solution. And some animal welfare organizations have come up with some ways to help control the population and help the welfare of these dogs.
In fact, some people really, during this stage when there's a lot of thunder and lightning, they think a lot about the dogs, because the dogs at home, they suffer a lot. They shout and they scream and they hide in the beds.
Some run away from home.
Yeah, exactly. And some jump over the tallest fences you get. Some people actually feel sorry for the homeless dogs and not for the homeless people, but people are like that. They feel really sorry for dogs, and that is why I think these movements have come up. Homeless dogs in Sri Lanka are a big problem. The stray population is increasing. There is not enough care maybe, but there is an effort. And we do have some images as well coming up in the show to see excellent programming happening in Kandy.
Yes, and we will be talking about that as well as the programs that happen in Sri Lanka, in Colombo. It's very important. Actually, I'm going to share a personal story. I actually rescued a small litter of puppies a couple of days ago. They were in the middle of the road. Somebody had left them there. And that is kind of a sad situation. Now I'm trying to get them better, and organizations such as this would be fabulous with rehoming the dogs and helping finding homes for them. But if anybody is looking for puppies, they can of course go on Good Morning Sri Lanka, a website, or Good Morning Sri Lanka on our Facebook. We like to have friends, and friends who want to help puppies like this is also great. So
we have some individuals just like Premi who like to help them. Indeed, an association called CACPO, Kandy Association for Community Protection Through Animal Welfare, in collaboration with the Veterinary Teaching Hospital, did something. And I think we have some images which we'll like to show you while we discuss this important issue. There we have it.
The governor of Kandy invited CACPO to conduct a program in which 130 dogs, almost all community dogs, were vaccinated and adorned with a red collar, and dogs with mange were treated. Most of the dogs that received the anti-rabies vaccine were already splayed. The activists were most impressed by the Honourable Governor's kindness to the animals that was evident and spontaneous. Seen here are some pictures of him petting community dogs, even ones with mange, setting a fine example of compassion. It was at his request that CACPO activists arrived to treat the dogs in Kandy for mange, which was marked a contrast to the usual requests they get to remove the nuisance dogs. The people of Kandy too helped out enthusiastically by assisting in rounding up the community dogs they cared for to be brought to the treatment area.
The Honourable Governor found the time to pet each and every dog that was brought to the clinic at the time he arrived for the main event. He said he meets them during his morning walk and pets them and has names for each dog. The clinics are conducted at the request of the Honourable Governor in support of the unique veterinary teaching hospital of the one and only vet faculty in the country. It was an initiative supported by the Kandy Municipal Corporation, the Provincial Health Director and her office, Kandy Police, and animal organizations such as SOFA and Pooch Foundation. The veterinary faculty came out in full force with their senior staff, clinicians, final year students and assistants. The academic staff carried out all treatment and vaccinations with the help of the students. CACPO provided the drugs, syringes, banners, etc. and 30 rabies vaccines and red collars, and the Provincial Health Ministry provided 100 rabies vaccines along with a 3-wheeler and a vaccinator. The new VTH needs support, a lot of it, and it's a fully functional thing. So indeed a great effort by them. I mean, it's wonderful to see everyone getting involved. It's not just a bunch of youngsters or something who care for dogs, but the police. I mean, you picture the police as, you know, stop, you know, they are seatbelt kind of people, but them getting involved, the staff at the university and everything. Great initiative.
Yes, and it's, you know, welfare organizations is a great initiative on their part. And more than that, I mean, a lot of the time you find that some people say, okay, fine, okay, I see a stray dog, okay, I should tell this person or, you know, this organization, and that's it, they stop.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think if everybody takes an, you know, initiative into this, or at least cares to find a solution, at least to do help.
And see, I mean, it's not just about you caring for dogs. If you're a human and you're humane, you just, I mean, even if you don't like dogs, just tell someone who likes a dog and, you know, care for the dog, because it's another living being. And this mange thing, I mean, you know, sometimes you see a dog with mange and you're like, ah. But then just look into the eyes of the dog and everything will just disappear. I mean, all that, and it's, I mean, dogs are such loving, caring animals, and particularly strays, they're so loyal, they are great to have, they are easy to maintain, and ideal family pet. And we'll return with a little discussion on the same with a short commercial break now. We'll be back. Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka on Monday the 30th. We're discussing the important issues of the stray dogs and the treatment, Prami.
Yes, now there's a lot of solutions people have come up with, but one of the most controversial solutions that was recent is the culling of the dogs. That is definitely not a human solution. And
what a reaction we had from the people. There was Facebook, there was emails, petitions. And I think it worked, and the minister said that no, we are not going to cull the dogs. But I think all these associations, what they do is really a middle path. You know, I mean, we are caring for the dogs because there is a stray dog population, but ultimately we have to come to a stage where there is no stray dog population, where all dogs should have a home. And we should stop the spread of stray dogs, because ultimately only about, 5 to 10% will get a home, and most of them might just die out on the street. So it's heartbreaking. And I guess it's for the authorities to take the final decision as well.
Yeah, but the sterilization of the dogs and the slaying of dogs, now that is definitely a way of controlling the population. And if it's done in a correct manner, I'm sure that we'll be able to solve the situation, solve the issue of this, you know, having too much of stray dog population.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great thing what these institutions do. I mean, they do something that even now, I'm a dog lover, but then I don't go out to the street and, you know, help dogs out and all that. But that's a great thing that they do. I mean, some people care for dogs, but then some people take that extra step to care for dogs other than their own. It's a really nice thing to do. And so for those out there, just if you see a dog on the street, just call on this association and see what you can do. Help them out, you know, because I'm sure someday a dog will always help you out as well.
Yes.
Wonderful animals there. And we have some international news with the business scene. The famous Apple, after the demise of Steve Jobs, doesn't seem to be having any demise themselves. They have trumped their sales with a great, with their forecast with the iPhones and the iPads. We have a story coming up with that as well. But Prami, are you on the whole iPhone and the iPad?
Well, I haven't actually transitioned to the iPhone, iPad, but I'm you know, I like that type of phone. The fact that you can actually get your, you know, emails on your phone and things like that, you can get that with most of the phones. But it's a bit of a controversial situation because, you know, do you want work following you at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Oh yeah, you know, it's a phone that talks to you and tells you what to do. And there was this funny video I saw where basically the phone starts controlling your life instead of you controlling the phone.
4th case of mad cow disease.
Okay, that's one of the more difficult things for me to watch, is actually an animal in pain, which is not good. Anyways, very sad for the people who actually sold their stocks with the death of Steve Jobs, because looks like the company is very well founded and moving up.
Great for them.
Continue to move up.
Funny story I used to hear about was the competitor in China for Apple called Orange.
Oh, really? That's a very good contrast. Now we're going to be getting into a little bit of motoring news. Now Ford is definitely a company everybody has heard about, and they've decided to give a revamp to one of the old classics. The white van is getting a revamp. They've got a new model out in the market called the Transit, and they're hoping that a makeover would help get them gain.
I wonder what kind of a makeover can a white van get? I mean, you know, it's a white van.
They can't really paint it another color, but maybe the design.
I mean, just imagine our school day vans. You know, the typical white van. Of course, it is colored side sort of. But you know, what kind of a makeover? I wonder what Ford has done. I mean, in Sri Lanka, the concept of a white van has become one of the most scariest things we've heard. So, but I think before we go into that, we need to go in for a small break. But we'll have a look at the white van
concept on the other side of this.
Yeah.